Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth video in building a chatbot with chat history using LLM. In the previous video, we have seen how to hit the token limit of an LLM model. I am using Llama 3.3 70 billion free tier from Grok API, and that is having a limit of 6,000 tokens per minute. And by adding chat history, we were trying to interact with LLM using 7,800 tokens and it was giving an API error. So now we'll see how to limit it using trim method. And in this example, we used LangGraph persistence for storing the chat history. And we can see here we asked many questions to the LLM and increased the total tokens used. Now first we'll see what is trimming method. So trim messages help to limit the size of a chat history by either restricting the token count or number of messages. Trimming based on message count example we can see here. So here we just need to pass the messages, then token counter here. Based on the message count, if you want to trim, we can give token counter as length. And here max tokens means total number of messages. That again depends on the token limit of the model you're using. And then we have an option to trim based on the token count. And here count tokens approximately. This is a LangChain implementation, and we'll take a look into the documentation of that. Here we can see all models have finite context windows, meaning there is a limit to how many tokens they can take as input. And if you have a very long message, you will need to manage the length of message you are passing to the model. Trim messages can be used to reduce the size of a chat history to a specified token count or a specified message count. First, we'll see how to limit it using the specified message count. I'll be using this notebook for the demo. So first what we can do, I'll copy all the code from our previous example where we were just printing the total tokens used. I'll put it here. Then this is the LangGraph persistence code. We can just put it here. This error is due to our token limit exception. Paste it, and now if we run it, so this is printing the token usage. I'll stop this. And to add the trim message, first we need to import trim messages. So system message, AA message, and I'll add trim messages. And here, before even passing the trimmed message to the model, we will try to print the actual trimmed message. So I'll create a variable here called trimmed message equal to, and I'll use trim messages. Inside that we need to pass messages, then the token counter and max tokens. And we can see that even in this example. So token counter, first we'll use the message length. I'll give messages equal to the messages, this messages, then token counter equal to length. I'll give, if you give length, it will count the message length, then max token I'll give 5. And here first we will try printing formatted string, then length of trimmed message, then length of trimmed message. Copy this and length of messages. So this message length will print. So we're not passing this to our model. We are just trying to trim the actual messages and print it. So we'll run this. I'll give a hi message. So there is a typo here. So it should be max tokens. Let me run it. I'll give a hi. And we can see the input token is 53. And length of trimmed messages 2. Length of the total messages also 2. Now I'll give one more hi. Both are 4. Now it became 5 and length of total messages 6, and from now on this will stay in 5 and this will be keep on increasing. And you can see even the token usage is from our total messages, so it is also keep on increasing. And now it is 187 and the input token will become 197. High message is having 10 tokens and output is this and total tokens is this. So in this way this total tokens are increasing because we are not trimming in the models invoke. So before that, if you want to see the actual trimmed message, so I'll just put a code here. And even I'll add a print. Need to fix the indentation. Then I'll do a print of get trimmed messages. Now we'll try running this again so that we can see the actual data which is passing in trimmed message. Hi, and now you can see here under trimmed message it is system message and the human message. Second time, so it became 4 system message, human message, and this is the second high. Now after that you can see now system message is gone from the list. Now it is retaining the last 5 chat histories. So I'll add how are you. So here now this is always retaining the last 5 messages. Now if you want to retain the system message always on top, what we can do is here we can pass an additional parameter called include system equal to true. Stop it. Now we'll run it again. And now this is having 3 messages, and we can see the system message on top. I'll give a message. My name is, enter, and this is retaining the system message on top. Which model are you using? So it is saying that I am using a language model based on transformer, and it is always retaining the system message on top. Now we'll try to use this in the model invoke. Stop this. Now instead of passing the actual messages, I am going to pass the trimmed message. We'll run it. I'll say hi, and my name is Shibidev, and now it is greeting with the message, and if you notice, this is having all this chat history. Now I'll give, so we have to give some data which this doesn't have much idea. Like, I'll just give some information about my profile. So now it is remembering all this data. Now I'll ask, which model are you using? So it is saying that I am using a conversational AI model based on a transformer architecture. Now I'll ask, is it open source? So it is saying that, okay, the underlying architecture is inspired by open source model like BERT. Now I'll ask, from where it is trained. Now if you notice here, it is not having any of my information. So now I'll ask, what is my name? So it is saying that I don't know your name, because I am retaining only the last 5 chat histories. Later we'll see how to summarize all the chat histories, but this is how we can do a trim on the chat history. And if you see here, the token usage is almost around 300 always. In this way, you can limit the token usage while passing the chat history. So we are using the trim method here, but we were trimming it using the message count. Now we'll see how to trim it using the approximate token count. Now we'll go to the documentation. So here we have an option, count tokens approximately. So this is a simple approximation that may not match the exact token count used by specific model. This is implemented by LangChain itself. So this will help us to get an approximate token count. So we'll try to use that. We'll go here. Instead of this, comment it. We need to import count tokens approximately. So here I'll do from LangChain underscore core dot messages dot utils import count tokens approximately. So we can use this option to count using the approximate count, and here under token counter we can give count tokens approximately, and here we can increase the max tokens to maybe around 1000 tokens. Now we'll try running the code. So before that I need to run this, then we'll run this and the user input section, and here I'll give hi. So now you can see here the total tokens is 101, and now it became 138. Now I'll give me a list of LLM models. Okay, now we can see total tokens is 511. Explain about first one. Now it is more than 1000. Explain about second one. So you can see here now it is saying that there is no second one to explain. So this conversation is just started and I provided information about Bert. So it is remembering only till that point. Like when I asked explain about first one and it has given this data, it is remembering only this. Now depends on the model's token capacity, we can increase the limit, but in this way we can use trim message for trimming based on the total message count or approximate token count. In the next video, we'll see how to summarize the chat history using additional LLM call. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.